Hello guys and welcome. Today we're gonna do the beloved. Should have been weekly, but you know, talking about like the fits in the factual warfare constellation. And I guess now it's called the theaters of war, and we're gonna talk about a couple of fits which are quite a bit of interesting that I've saw this week. It's a bit unique from players that have combat 1 versus 1. And let's take a look at the first one. So we got Kutalala Isha. This guy operates in the constellation Isoma, and he takes advantage of that because let's just take a look at the theaters of war, and we see that the insurgencies and let me just take a look. It has to be, right? Yeah. So he takes advantage of those corrupted systems, as you can see, because they're at level 5. He can just use his Flycatcher, and he's using it to get an advantage. He can use the bubbles to make people to not be able to warp away. He controls it. I actually saw in one of the episodes one of this fit, like very similar to it. And let me just, somebody told me that I haven't put the ammo in the previous. So he has like a 160 damage on this. Let me just see a couple of things. Yes. So around 160 damage. He uses interdictors to bubbles to prevent you from war. I think this is like just some loot that he got. And yeah, he has scram, web, and afterburner. But he also has micro updraft, so he's dual prop. He has a bit of tank, and he has the EM hull plugged because he only has 0. He doesn't have it. Yeah, and then nanofiber, so he can move it around. So he basically just likes to keep a distance. Basically, bubbles you wherever he gets like 1 versus 1. Hey, this is a 1 versus 1 fit. This is not like a gate camping fit. Yeah, he keeps the distance. He has quite a bit of a good range because of the rockets, and he can beat like most of the brawlers that exist in the faction warfare zone, like the Catalyst Navy issues and all that. Keep a good distance, maybe overheat and 10k distance with the scram. Legit fit. If he gets scrammed, he can use the afterburner. If he doesn't, he can just pull range and then get closer to the targets that are fast. Yeah, and the idea is to not get away. He moves fast. Quite a bit of tank in case, tank is always like a good way to do it. A very good fit, good damage. Use situational, I guess, right now in that particular theater of war. In the corrupted systems in the constellation Isoma. I think it's right near where the Tama is in the entrance to the high sec. So yeah, smart, good fit. That's gonna be the first fit for this today video. And the next one we have a Coercer in every issue, which is a very basic fit, but as you can see, very tight. And it's a Coercer Navy issue, right? Is it issue? Yes. Look at this. This is so tight. As like, let me just take a look. Almost 99% on both of those. Power grid and CPU. Let me just put one of the modules. It has the beauty of this ship is that it has quite a bit of good range. He has like 8k with the 412 damage. He has the, he's a little bit tanky, quite a bit of EHP. He can definitely can brawl, but also can definitely just pick up some range. Look at this. This is used for probably the Imperial Navy for the bear tracking, for the faster ships, and the Scorch where he gets to go quite a bit of distance. He can just use the Warp Disruptor to keep it in the right range, but also, like, you know, beat those Cramkiters at this range, like 50 kilometers or maybe even 20 kilometers, to beat the Cramkiters if there are any. Yeah, quite a bit of. I like this fit. I mean, plug the. Yeah. Good EHP, good DPS, good range. Only thing that it doesn't have is just like a web, so you kind of have to use a little bit of your manual piloting a bit to, you know, get the right distance, or, you know, keep the distant orbit. This kind of requires a little bit more skill on that regard for those, but nonetheless a very good fit. It's gonna be the second fit for this video, and then we're gonna look at the third video, or third and it's on the other location of the map. Let me just look at the theaters of war and the faction warfare, and it's in, surprisingly, one of the most busiest zone, which is in the Mar versus Minotaur zone. So it's in this constellation head, and we got Jim Reynolds, if you guys know StarCraft 1. Let's look at this fit. I mean, very standard fit, is not even like a navy ship, so that's the surprising fit. It's a bit expensive because... Why is that it's so expensive? I don't know. Maybe he used all the tier 2s and all that. I think the bulkheads. Yeah, that's the one that probably just... Yeah, so the idea of this ship is to... So he warps, disrupts. Yeah, he definitely wants to... I don't know if it's cram-kiting, I don't even know. It's a little bit unique, to be honest. Can have a little bit of range. The damage is not that great. I think it's all about having the right range with this fit. It's a little weird, but I think he's like manually piloting to get the right range on the engagements. So he uses all those different types of ammo, and the fights that he is in, he is probably just looking to have a little longer so he can just proc all the repairer nanites. Yeah, interesting to say the least. To have a warp disruptor instead of a scram. Guess can fight at distance a little bit too. Probably that's the idea. He doesn't look to get close too much. Just keeps the distance with the web. Don't let people get too close to you. And even if he gets scrammed, he can just like pull distance still. So that's the idea. Very interesting, and very interesting that he gets that many kills with such a simple ship. I mean, it's not even like it's a 350,000 ISK ship, which is quite unique. It's a unique ship, that's to say the least. I have not seen like one of those fits before in one of the episodes that I've posted so far. So yeah, props to Jim Brainot for, hey, it's working for him. He gets solo kills with this. So yeah, also can use two drones as well too. It's not a bad ship. Not a bad ship at all. Like, it has like one of the few MR ships that can have 3 medium slots. Yeah, legit. Alright, let's look at the last and the theaters of war. It's operating in this constellation. That'll be the constellation Eogidi. And we got plutonium M86. And I took the fit as it is. As you can see, I didn't modify it that much. He's using a Scythe fleet issue. The thing is with Scythe fleet issues, you need quite a bit of skills. It's interesting, he's using a So he uses ballistic controls, but one of this is like abyssal modified. So I can see he has 3 ballistic controls with a warp disruptor. He probably has like either like an implant, or he has like one of those high grades that reduces the power grid, or not reduces, just allows you to have power grid. The ship itself has cap boosters for the small capacitor booster. With Scram, he uses micro updrive, so can definitely fight even close to very strong because of the extra ancillary shield booster, but they can also fight from range. So that's the beauty of the ship, and probably that's why he gets so many kills, is that he can choose the distance too. Can fight from distance, can fight from getting close. Using a warp disruptor and a warp scrambler now that I see it. So he uses both. The only thing that I should add is that the lack of existence of, I guess now yeah, you can only equip 9. That's the thing with the 400 cap boosters, is that you can only equip 9. So if you have, so that means you have only 3 cycles, but if you use the 800s, you can use 4 cycles. That's the difference. And now it shows you that it looks like you can use power for cap boost. It doesn't. And a lot of like good players make that mistake. So you really need to have 800s for the extra largest too, so you can get like 4 cycles in instead of 3. And that's a lot of people probably can make the difference in some fights with that. But yeah, look at this. I mean, it's 14,000 HP, but if you look at the shield boost rate, it's 200, so it's like another 1,000, and that's 1,000 per second. So, and you get like 1, 2, I mean 4 cycles. That's like 4,000 HP again. So you can get like up to close to 20,000 HP with this. So can definitely brawl, and also has like a neutralizer when you get close. Yeah, very good fit. Copy and paste it, guys. Use it for the faction warfare. Thanks so much for watching. Interesting to analyze the fits in the faction warfare zone for the pilots that use those ships 1 versus 1. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.